Hey guys, welcome back. I want to talk to you about how to start a new Yu-Gi-Oh YouTube channel for those that are interested. I'm going to talk through a lot of things that I've learned in my first, I guess, year and a half of doing Yu-Gi-Oh content on YouTube and what I would do differently, what I learned, some of like the better approaches that I feel like I took, and just pretty much how to get started. So there's a lot to talk about when it comes to this. I want to break it down into a few topics. So first of all is content. So what kind of content should you be creating? Of course, it's Yu-Gi-Oh content, but you can't just do all of Yu-Gi-Oh right away, in my opinion. So we'll get into that. We're going to talk about what kind of equipment you need, equipment and software and just stuff that you need to build your Yu-Gi-Oh YouTube channel, and what the priority of equipment upgrades is, because should I get a camera, should I get a microphone, should I just buy more Yu-Gi-Oh cards and so forth. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how I record physically. I'll show you my setup kind of from my POV. I'll bring up my phone and show you what's going on in front of me to show you what's going on. And then revenue and subs. How much can you expect? How much am I making right now with my relatively small YouTube channel of about 2,000 subs? I wanted to just be transparent with you. Please ask me any questions in the comments if you have any further questions, and I'll let you know. So you want to start a Yu-Gi-Oh YouTube channel. So what do you have to do? You have to think about, first of all, what kind of content are you going to make? Some examples are deck profiles. We have pack openings. We have just like streaming, like Master Duel, or online platforms like Dueling Book. And then we also have, I don't know, like market watches and so forth. So you have to kind of decide what kind of content you want. But you can't really, you're going to hear this from any kind of advice for starting a YouTube channel, is that you have to find your niche in the market. And what does that mean? You can't just go do the same thing that someone else is already doing. Like, say you want to do Dueling Book replays. DB Grinder puts out like 6 replays a day and is good at it. So unless you are also going to be putting out 6+ videos a day and be better than DB Grinder, then that's probably not a good niche for you. You have to change it up. You have to do something different. You have to give people a reason to watch your channel instead of DB Grinder or someone that does it really well already. When it comes to deck profiles, it's kind of hard to do deck profiles, and this is the approach that I took. I went through deck profiles as well, but I'm some like no-name schmuck who hasn't really topped anything, and I'm not Jesse Cotton. Jesse got like 40,000 subs with like 4 videos or some shit because he's a well-known name. He's already established himself in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. People know who he is, and people trust that when they click on Jesse Cotton's deck profile, they're gonna know that they're going to get a quality deck, But for you, if you don't have a name for yourself in the Yu-Gi-Oh community yet, then deck profiles is kind of difficult, especially when it comes to the meta decks, because meta decks, you can see meta deck profiles from people that are topping all over the place, okay? And this is kind of why I took a little bit of a different approach for my channel, and this is the niche that I found, is that if you're going to be a deck profile Yu-Gi-Tuber, then pick a deck that nobody is playing and that is not meta. Okay? If you try to come out here and be the Kashtira guy, you want to be the Kashtira guy on YouTube, but you have no name for yourself, why is anyone going to watch your Kashtira deck profile when they can go see YCS London, whatever, deck winning profile, or tournament winning profile of Kashtira? Like, they can just go there. So instead, what you do is you pick a non-meta deck that nobody is playing, and you become the GOATY guy, or you become the dual avatar guy or something. Okay, you just make yourself a niche with some deck that nobody else is on. And you will slowly gather a community of people that trust you, that know that you put in the time and you put in the work to learn how to play dual avatar to the best of your abilities. And therefore, they know that once you start branching out into other decks, that you've probably also put in the time to learn those, and that those decks are also good quality. And then you slowly gather people into your community that know that you put out good content, that you put in the work to learn these decks, and that you are trustable. Establishing trust with your audience is the most important thing when it comes to building a YouTube channel, because people have to come to you to know that you are, reliable. You're not giving them some BS deck profile that any schmo could put together and probably may not even make sense. But if you can establish that you actually do some work, that you actually know what you're talking about when it comes to the Yu-Gi-Oh metagame, like actually provide discussions to your deck choices or your card choices and so forth. You have to actually practice your deck in order to come up with justification for playing cards. So you have to kind of come up with a niche. You have to put in the work to learn the niche, and then you have to establish yourself there and branch out. This is the same thing that Amazon did when Amazon was up and coming. Amazon didn't start off selling every single thing like they do now. Like, you can't come out here and put out a deck profile for every single deck. You have to start with one thing. Like Amazon started with selling books, and therefore you have to come out and start with selling dual avatar deck profiles or Goaty deck profiles or some other deck profiles, and then slowly add things into your channel. And this is what I did for my channel. I started off primarily with Magical Musketeers content. Nobody on YouTube was playing Magical Musketeers. It was like a deck with a fairly big community, a fairly big fan base, but nobody was really doing it online. So I came in, I put out some really cool, in my opinion, Magical Musketeers deck ideas. I showed some replays. I showed some justification for why I was playing which cards, and therefore it came out really well. And I started to build a bit of a base that way, and I got my channel up to something like 500 subs on that. And then all of a sudden I hit a lucky break when I was putting out content for actually more meta decks, and I put out a guide on how to play branded, and that pretty much helped my channel take off. It doubled my subs in like 3 days. It really kind of put my name out there in the YugiTuber community a little bit, and it kind of built on the trust. And people who came in, if they came in to see my intro to branded episode 1, and they saw I had like 2 subscribers, they would have been like, well, who the hell is this schmuck? Nobody knows who he is. Nobody trusts him. I'm going to click on the next video. But I assume maybe they came into my video. They saw I had, a decent amount of subs. They said, okay, at least 500 guys clicked this guy and want to watch his video. So I will join that group because the branded content seems okay. And somebody seems to think he knows what he's talking about when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! A little bit, so therefore I trust him enough to hit the subscribe button. And it's all about getting people to hit subscribe and come back to watch your content. And I know you're going to be watching your subscriber count every day. You're going to be waiting to get to the 1,000 subs so you can monetize your channel and start making some ad revenue. But you can't be in it for that because it takes so long. It's such a painstaking process that if you kind of obsess yourself over the subs, like I did a little bit, admittedly, it's just not going to be fun. You have to be committed. You have to enjoy playing whatever deck that you're going out there with, putting content out for, and you have to actually enjoy it, or else you're going to burn out. I loved playing Magical Musketeers. I was bringing it to locals anyway, so I might as well just record a video of what cards I'm playing in my deck today, and so forth. And therefore I put out my video, and if people like it, they like it, and if they don't, well, then they don't. But whatever, you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it to keep track of what you are doing, and you're doing it because it brings you joy to help other people. Honestly, that's why I'm recording videos, is it brings me joy, because I know that at least a few people are watching my video and learning something from it, and I'm kind of making the YugiTube world a bit of a better place. And that's why I make my videos, and just making money off the videos as well is just an added benefit. So yeah, really come up with your niche, really come up with a reason to make videos besides money. Please do not do it just for money, and then grow your channel that way. And if you show on video that you are actually enjoying what you do, you're enjoying the content that you make, then people will join to follow you because they'll enjoy it with you. They'll want to enjoy it with you, and that's what subscribing is. Subscribing is, yes, I want to enjoy this guy's content with him or her. Okay? So yeah, that's where we are in terms of niches and content. I know I kind of rambled a bit, but that's really where your headspace has got to be at, because it's the most important thing when it comes to starting a YouTube channel. Okay? Now let's talk about equipment and software. Okay, how practically do you record Yu-Gi-Oh content? And what I'm really going to do here is I am going to open my phone and record a video of me talking. And so this is what I have going on. I have a laptop. It can be any laptop. Doesn't have to be a fancy pants MacBook Pro. It's got a webcam. And I'm recording myself talking to the computer. And I also have a podcasting mic. Audio is very important. And then also, which I won't be using in this video, but I do use in other videos, is I have a fancy pants camera. Okay, and this is where like I have a tripod and a camera, and I put my deck out here, and I kind of record a deck profile that way. So yeah, that's what I own. Do you need all this fancy shit? No, you do not. You can do what I just did with my phone. You can record yourself, or I would really recommend getting a tripod so you don't have to hold it out and your arms aren't tired as fuck. But you just need a camera, okay? A camera with a microphone. It doesn't have to be a fancy mic. I'll talk about this in a little bit. But your phone has a camera and a microphone, and that's going to be good enough, all right? What I would really recommend is a second camera. Now, you don't have to get the, Canon DSLR thing that I got going on here. Webcam, USB webcam. You can get these for like $30, okay? And what you can do is you can record your face this way. You can record your deck or whatever you're displaying this way. This is assuming you're doing like IRL content. If you're doing like screen recording content, like Master Duel or Dueling Book or whatever, you don't even need a second camera. You can just do it all on the computer software, and I'll talk about that shortly. But yeah, if you're doing a deck profile, I really recommend having a second camera so that you can overlay your face in the corner. You know how you usually see deck profiles with someone's face in the corner and then the rest of the deck going on. That's because people, when you're showing them what cards you're playing, they want to be able to look in your eye and see how you feel about it. They want to see your body language. It makes people more comfortable about trusting you that your deck is actually decent, and yeah, and so forth. So that's where we are now. Those are the pieces of equipment you need. So now let me talk a little bit about upgrades. So if you have a little bit of money and you really want to go in on this, or like down the line, okay, I really recommend a podcasting mic like this. I have I think a fancy one. I don't really know. It was a gift, luckily for me. But get yourself a podcasting mic because audio is king. You know that people will watch a video with shitty video but good audio. But the second you have a video with crap audio, they're out. Dude, they don't want to deal with that shit in their ears. So having crisp audio is very important. And you have to know how to work with audio. And therefore, a podcasting mic is going to be a very good investment for you. Now let's talk about some software. And let me go ahead and show my screen here. Let me switch over to that. Okay, so this is a program called OBS. You can get it online. I'm pretty sure it's free. It is free. And pretty much it lets you mix and match. It lets you drag around whatever screen you're on. Right now, the screen I'm on is OBS itself. So that's really nice. Here we go. And this is how you overlay two sets of videos at once. So we have the video coming out of my webcam, and that's me over on the bottom left. And then we have OBS, you have a window selection as well. So if we go over here, you see it's called Safari in the middle here. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor, but yeah. Right now the window is set to OBS, which is the program that we use to record. And it's also the same program used to stream to wherever you want, Twitch, YouTube, whatever. So this is definitely the program I would recommend. You add sources, you add like a border, you can hide the border, you can hide the other window, you can hide yourself, and so forth. So that's what we have going on here. And yeah, OBS definitely a good piece of software to have. Now, the other piece of software that you're gonna maybe want to get is, well, you're gonna have to get kind of, if you want to do any sort of detailed work at all, is a video editing software. Now, I use a piece of software called Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro costs $300, and it's a one-time purchase, and that's why I did it, as opposed to Adobe Premiere, which is a monthly subscription, or DaVinci Resolve. I think DaVinci Resolve is free? Is it free? I don't know. But yeah, those are the three primary video editing softwares that I would recommend. And then I think there's other free versions maybe, or like iMovie. Can you do it in iMovie? I don't know. But if you plan on having any kind of detailed stuff, or like cutting in or like adding in features, pop-ups, getting rid of a whole bunch of time where you're saying or kind of like if you get up to go to the bathroom, you don't have to restart your recording, you can cut that part out. So that's all part of video editing, and that's something you're going to actually need a video editor for. Or if you're just a legend and you do it all in one take and you have no problems with how your take is, then you can just post it straight from your phone to YouTube, the video file, unedited, go ahead. Okay, and then the last thing that I do for content creation is thumbnails, okay? And how I do thumbnails is kind of cool, actually, in my opinion. So I'm going to show you, and it's pretty much, we're going to go into on Mac, it's called Keynote, and on PC, you're probably going to have PowerPoint, or if you just have PowerPoint, that's fine. But let me go ahead and switch over to the Keynote. Okay, so we have, this is how I do my thumbnails, and I pretty much just craft my thumbnails in Keynote. And each slide is a different thumbnail. The slide ratio, the slide size is the same ratio as the thumbnail size. So I just kind of put images together, crop them in. I have text here, I have images here, drag around whatever I need, just copy images in, and this is how I sort through all of my thumbnails. And I can just, if I have a very similar thumbnail, I just duplicate the slide, change the text a little bit, and there we go. So that's just a quick tip on how I do thumbnails. Thumbnails are very important. And if you're going to get into the YouTube space, I would really recommend going out and watching some videos on how to make good thumbnails, what is important about thumbnails, and so forth. So, yeah, that's about it for thumbnails. And now we're going to get into a little bit of a revenue. So if you guys are unfamiliar with how YouTube works, once you hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours watched of your channel, you can apply to be monetized by YouTube. And what that means is that you make some percentage of all of the ad revenue that comes from your video. So, advertisers pay to advertise on YouTube. And if you're a small channel, YouTube gets all of that money. And if you're a larger channel with at least 1,000 subs, 4,000 hours watched, YouTube will give you some of that money. So I have been monetized for, I think, 3 months now. And in that time, I am going to go ahead and check it out. And of course, monetization is basically per view. So the more views you get, the more money you're going to get, and so forth. But anyways, I'm going to go over to my channel here. I will tell you the dates and the values. Let's see, I got monetized on March 26th of this year, and since then I have made $206. So I've been monetized for almost 3 months, like 3 months minus 1 week, and I've made $206 in that time from YouTube. So yeah, that's a little bit of perspective on how it's been going, and what you can expect to make. Now, of course, this is This is not any kind of close to a part-time job or full-time job, and I only put out 1 to 2 videos a week probably, and it's just a nice little bit of pocket change, honestly, to buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards with. So that's where I'm at right now with my YouTube revenue and so forth. So as you can see, I started my channel in October 2022. It's now June 2023, and I've made $200. So temper your expectations, keep them reasonable. Yeah, it takes a lot of practice to make decent content. It took me a long time to be able to speak to the camera coherently. I've gotten much better, I feel like, in my time Yugi-tubing, and I think that it's really kind of improved my life as well to be able to be comfortable speaking to a camera, to be able to talk to you guys. I really built up a nice community of you guys that have been watching. So while I'm here, I'll say thank you for joining me in my YouTube journey. And yeah, just know that not making a lot of money from this, and I'm not looking to anytime soon. Okay, so if I grow, that's great, and if not, that's fine too. I'm just trying to put out content, help you guys, and kind of teach you guys a little bit on how my process went as a Yugi-tuber and how you should expect to do it if you are interested in getting started. So please leave a comment below if you have any further questions. Leave a like on the video, and of course subscribe to my channel. You guys know it's going to help me, and I'll subscribe back. So go ahead and do that stuff if you feel like it, if you feel like you've benefited from this information. So yeah, with that, we'll catch you guys later. If there's any follow-ups or any questions good enough to warrant a whole new video of discussion, I would be happy to make that. So yeah, let's go ahead and see you guys later. I hope to see you guys. I hope to see your content on YouTube soon.